Broadcast live.
I always say you never know what people are there for. You might think they're part of your group, but they actually the guys who are supposed to make you see your greatness.
Yeah,
And
real talk.
And Tody, and for me, it's unbelievable. You've been with this guy for so long, 10 years, from I guess from coming from the hood, being friends.
Yeah.
But somewhere along the line, this guy is gonna literally guide your path to where you need to go the rest of your life.
And that's crazy, right? And that's like,
That's incredible.
that's incredible, man.
Shout out to
Mac.
Tody, you know, and that's why you shout them out so much, you know. And I see you got like Casper on 2 joints on the album.
Yeah.
And I asked myself, I wonder what conversations happened after Jabba passed, you know, what commitments you all guys made and what literally happened, what never happened. And because I feel that Casper had almost the same story with Jabba.
Yeah.
Also, I think
Yeah.
Jabba housed him, put him in the videos,
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah.
So it almost looked like it was like 2 of Jabba's seeds coming
Yeah.
together, and I wondered if it was that the realization in retrospect after he passed. I mean, I'm sure y'all knew it, but y'all never stopped and discussed it ever.
Yeah, that's so true. It's so true. I mean, the effect that it had on all of us was just like, it was just so painful for everybody, and we never got to get in the room with Mulimi, Tody, and everybody. I mean, the whole fraternity, to talk about it. You know, everybody kind of grieved in their own space. You know, and well, some did, but like, I think with Casper, you know, I think, how do I put it? What is your question?
I was saying, what was
Yeah.
the conversation and what was the realization
Okay.
between the 2 of you guys? Because in any way, if you think about it, you guys really became the biggest things that came from Jabba's apartment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The realization was that, like, what made Motswako a thing, what made Motswako powerful, was the unity. That's the thing. And as soon as we were all kind of like working apart, something died, something got lost. Real talk, you know. So something really special happened at Maftown Heights, 2018, and you know, this was like a sad realization for me that the platform was created to unite the fraternity, and every year I experience the movement growing apart. You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, what if we did a joint set of all the hits? I'm gonna come on and open. Mulimi jumps in with a classic. We're gonna share a set. We've never performed together. We're gonna squatter camp this thing.
Yeah.
Just one time and one time only. And there were issues, you know, with me and Cass, you know, that we weren't talking about at the time, especially with the platform Maftown Heights, where he hadn't performed in a while. Dude, right at the end of that set at Maftown Heights, Cass jumps on as a surprise. I didn't even know he was around.
Yeah.
Yo, man, I had tears to my eyes because I just felt like this is definitely something Jabba would have loved to experience. And this is how you wrap a legacy. You know what I mean? So that's definitely it. Jabba's passing made us realize that we're better as a unit.
True. I mean, and I don't want to be funny, you know, now that I'm getting this story in this context, you
Yeah.
know, no one has told me that they lived in Jabba's apartment in a certain way. I mean, I never knew that. I mean, Casper, you know, people talk, but
Yeah.
but now that I'm seeing the alignment, I'm also imagining how Jabba could have felt just sitting there. And it's not about you, Khuli, reaching out.
Yeah.
It's not about you, Cass, reaching out. It's not about Mo. It's about if Jabba just saw everyone united. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's because it's like he can fix things and have a chat with you backstage, fix things. But like if everyone was united, because now that I hear it, it's like he was the soil.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. And you know, in hindsight, when I try to think about what he might have been going through is, you know, it's something that I got to experience. You know, when you do what we do and you've given so much and you feel like the game is starting to count you out.
And even the people that you believe that you were part of the soil to be, you know what I mean?
That's
And you guys are not, it's not like, I'm not saying you, but it's not like it's an
Yeah.
intentional thing.
Yeah.
We're just all busy with life right
Well,
now.
exactly, but I know that's exactly what it felt like for him, because that's what it does to you. You know, you just feel like, yo, man, all you guys should be holding me down right now, you know. And yeah, and that, you know, that's the one thing we can't change right now. We can learn from it.
I mean, talking about being in that space, I mean, you also really were in the forefront when AKA started collaborating with you before you really started taking his path of the layers. I feel that, like, I don't know whether you did it consciously or unconsciously, but you almost opted out of like the wave that he was creating. It's almost like you deliberately stood to say, okay, I'm not gonna carry on with the wave though.
Yeah.
But I don't mind also just giving you my cosign.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I felt like you opted out. Is that something that you really did? It's like,
Yeah. Well, you know, I did because when I gave Keenan that cosign, you know, it wasn't like it's something I had to do for the game or for the culture or for, you know, it was just something I'd also learned from Jabba, you know, I had to carry on tradition that you believe in somebody, you share, you know. So that's all I did, and I also realized, I got to a place where I realized that his star was rising, you know what I mean, and my position in his life is to be the big bro, you know, even after this, you know what I mean. He can pick up a call and say, yo, I'm not in a great space, you know, but I wasn't gonna ride that wave and be the guy who put him on, you know what I'm saying. You know, I was gonna position myself in a place where he can look to me for inspiration and motivation and be the big bro, you know.
I was thinking that maybe also, I mean, around the time, I mean, right after that, you know, also there was that the shooting, you know, with the cops, which you mentioned a lot on the album also. Do you feel that besides everything that happened, and you said you went through it, like probably what Jabba went through, where you feel like people should be holding you down or you should be getting a certain level of acknowledgement to respect. Do you feel that like your output musically was also impacted by what happened, like from a traumatic perspective, paranoia perspective, like I can't just go out without me thinking about what's going to happen, you know? Do you think that spilled over to your music output also?
True, it did, you know. I mean, I can admit that now in hindsight, because you know, I think the number one mistake I did was that after that shooting incident, I tried to pick up the pieces real quick and move on.
Even at a thing called Pick Up the Pieces. Documentary.
I put out that's what I try to do, because I was so worried about my career. They're like, oh damn, this thing has just thrown a spanner in the works, and yeah, you know, I don't want to be crippled by it. But what I didn't realize, that mentally I was, you know, and that I wasn't the same. That it actually stole my fire, you know, and the fact that I couldn't even draw from it. You know what I'm saying? I know I always make that joke, and then it's like, you know, like I couldn't be 50 or Park about it. I'm just not built like that, you know, and so I can't draw from it. And and suddenly I was just kind of stuck. But the blessing was then I got that absolute deal. I got that, you know, these opportunities to kind of find a new focus. And
create a facade of what you're really feeling at the time. Those deals were covering, they were the pretty picture of what you were really going through.
That was the smoke screen I needed at the time. You know, that was just God at work going, okay, cool, let's put you over here, let's hoy at cans and obe sharp, you know. And the thing that started to suck the most was like now the perception that everybody had of me. Like, oh, it's good to see you doing that corporate thing now and you've retired from the music.
Yeah.
Or when everybody talks to me like I'm a retired athlete.
Yeah,
or everybody
yeah,
talks to
yeah,
me
yeah,
like,
yeah.
that thing you used to do back then
Yeah,
was
yeah,
great. And
yeah.
I just started feeling like I was dying. Like, or like I was, you know, like I was a dinosaur. Like, you know, I was extinct. Like, it was just like, and I also, and then I'd put out stuff that just never hit. And that's hard to deal with.
And that makes you say, maybe they're right.
Yeah, that's when you start to go, yeah, maybe, you know, I've been wanting to study for a while.
I think it's about time.
I've been wanting to study humanities for a while. It's about time we do that. Yeah. For real, dude.
Funny.
Yeah.
That's crazy. The thing is that, like, there's always been, and I was saying this to Refilo, I was saying, the funny thing about Motswako artists, Maftown artists, have been the only artists that have been able, and as a group, they've been the only artists from Jabba, right? To Dukes, who has never had real personality per se, even in his prime. Dukes never had a personality in his
Dukes
Dukes was just like two Dukes, you know.
Yeah.
I said that, like, they are the only guys that converted rapping from music royalties and shows to commercial and brand.
Wow, man.
Think about it.
Wow.
The Maftown artists from Jabba, and consistently, think about it.
I like that it's coming from you. You know what I'm saying?
No,
and it's not
consistently.
coming from somebody from my gang, and it's coming from you, and that's true.
Yeah, I mean, because I know we were squatter camp and we were bigger than all y'all.
Yeah.
And we couldn't convert it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm saying, so when I say a group of guys, look at Cass with what he's doing with Samsung right now.
Yeah.
You know, or whoever he was working with. So ever since Jabba has started it, you guys have been the only guys that have been able to convert rap from not only like royalties and shows to boardrooms.
Yeah.
And I probably know why also. It's because most people who make the decisions, who are influential in the boardroom, are not people from Joburg, are people from out of town. You know? And that
I
for
wasn't
me,
expecting that.
it talks to the work ethic of like when you
Okay.
guys saying we gotta survive, and then your people who literally like come out. You know, I got a friend of mine who's on another brand, and she's always speaking to me like, like yo, she knows, and then I just speak English. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like I know that like the way she would be helping me, she would definitely help a person from Northwest if they came with the same thing.
Yeah.
And that, so even if you guys are segmented, there's this thing where people from out of town are helping each other.
Yeah.
Because, which is a sad thing because I'm from Joburg, you know. It's like, maybe a lot of us from Joburg are not making it to those levels unless it's a political thing.
Yeah.
A lot of us from the town, because here's Questa, you know, as an example.
Yeah.
He's got to deal with that brand and that. But the guys that have been consistent all come from out of town.
Yeah. You think living in Joburg and growing up here comes with a bit of
Complacency.
complacency?
Comes with a bit of not only from the artists,
Yeah.
but also from us from Joburg, because we, it's like, imagine a guy from Katlehong who literally grew up with me in Katlehong or Leondale, and then he sees me, he sees me like, yeah, sure, mara, angacabanga ukuthi.
Yeah.
But a guy from Maftown, when you guys see each other in Joburg, and you doing well, when he starts going, you're like, oh shit, yeah, like, you know what I mean? It's like this nigga that's behind the camera from Val. Whenever some nigga from the Val comes here, and then nigga goes, oh, you from the Val? You know what I mean?
That's true, man.
So
that's true. We lived out here, like, I remember living in Jabba's apartment. We were like a refugee camp. He even had the Buputa Tswana flag in there. We were weird, but like, you know, it grounded us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, yeah, you know, man, that was an amazing time. You know,
Yeah.
that's the thing that grounded us. And I think what you just said is so true.
Broadcast live